The person who'd win in a fight is the person that the scriptwriter wants to win.
Hello there, and welcome to an all-new episode of Talking SMAC, where we talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and much, much more. I am your host, Josh Scar, and joining me on this momentous occasion is my co-host, Alex. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm looking out at this amazing crowd. There's almost as many people here as we have good episodes. It is fantastic. It is wonderful. We have a crowd. I see Hemanstarfox in the crowd.
Hemanstarfox is here.
I see my wife in the crowd. She already looks...
Marriage!
I don't see a dog from our other co-host.
The Rockford's favorite dog mom did not bring her dog. I'm going to blame Doug for this. We'll talk to Doug here in just a second. But Becky, welcome back to the podcast. And we're in person as well. We should say that.
It's me in person. 5 hours of driving through a tornado just for you, by the way.
That's impressive. My dad drove through a tornado in Minnesota. So you're only the second person I've known to do that.
Been here for 2 minutes, already story topping. It's fine. Casual, so I didn't bring the dog because he would have stolen all my spotlight.
It's true, and he would have topped all your stories.
Yes, he would have.
Mom, you remember that time you stole my toy?
I ate your dinner in like 5 seconds flat. You took at least 15 minutes to eat it. Super embarrassing.
And this is episode 200 of Talking SMAC. We are doing a live recording at Cataclysm Games here in Machesney Park, just north of Rockford. I almost said south for some reason. But we are joined by Doug from Cataclysm. Doug, if you want to move your mic a little closer, you've got the arm, you can move it around.
Closer to it.
You can be a little closer.
Scoocher.
That's
I
good
love
too.
it.
I like the scooch too. But Doug, please let everyone listening know a little bit about yourself as well as what you do here at Cataclysm.
Oh, my name's Doug. I'm the events manager and events coordinator here at Cataclysm Games in Machesney Park, Illinois.
So you're the guy I should have been emailing, not Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's the owner. So he was just relaying everything that you sent to me. So,
Okay. At least I got someone's attention.
Shout out to Kyle.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good people.
And congratulations to Kyle and his wife on their new bundles of joy.
Ooh,
Yes,
congrats.
twins.
Oh.
I know, spooky, right?
So as the events coordinator, that involves a lot of tabletop gaming, as that is the main thing here at Cataclysm.
Everything we do here is, tabletop gaming or tabletop gaming adjacent, at least.
Can you tell me a little bit about how would one get involved in a game? Perhaps the one directly across from me that's playing Call of Cthulhu that I've been staring at for the last hour and a half.
Call of Cthulhu, I mean, it's just it's a tabletop RPG similar to Dungeons & Dragons. I think it uses the 5th edition, D&D style rules. I don't know if it's been updated for D&D 2024 or anything yet, but it's similar game, similar thing. It's got a set of supplements and everything.
Yep.
So.
But how could I join that group specifically?
That group specific, I think you have to go and introduce yourself. And
No, but as the events manager, is that something you would coordinate for me?
that I would not. These guys are playing their own game. This one has nothing to do with me.
Moving on.
The games on the other side of this wall, that's me.
Oh, okay.
The games being played on some of these tables, that's me. This specific RPG group, not me at all.
You could not have picked the worst table.
I know.
For an example.
The one table doing the game I want to play is the game you can't help me with.
Yeah, there will be other people coming in and playing Dungeons & Dragons later, but and that I will have involved with.
Oh, okay,
but,
fine.
not this particular group.
What are some of the bigger tabletop tournaments or games that you guys have for events?
Oh, I mean, we do Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, 40,000 and Age of Sigmar. Got Marvel Crisis Protocol going on in there right now. I'm sure you guys talk a little bit about Marvel characters on here.
Just a few.
Nope.
Marble?
The
I've never heard
Thunderbolts
of
and the
her.
new Avenger.
Never heard of her.
But yeah, they've got a Crisis Protocol tournament going on in there right now. It's a qualification tournament for Las Vegas Open. There's a big tournament
nice.
in
Oh,
LVO
wow.
every year. So first place wins an invitation to that, basically.
very cool.
But that's what's going on today.
Here in this store, you can win an invitation to Vegas? Wow.
I mean, that's not like a paid trip or anything. It's just
well, I'm just saying that's
a
still
qualification
big.
to a
Yeah,
big tournament
that's
in
still
Vegas.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, Doug, thanks so much for your time, and thanks for letting us take up some space in the store today. Thanks to Kyle as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're in the Rockford area listening, obviously you should know about Cataclysm Games and Collectibles. If not, already be in the store while we're recording this, and maybe while you're listening to it. Who knows? But Doug, thanks so much again for your time,
Absolutely.
and thanks for letting us have this table. But we're going to get into the episode, and again, thank you for your time.
Cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Doug's the hero.
Yeah, Doug.
Douglas.
And so we are here at Cataclysm Games getting ready to talk SMACdowns. We're also doing an AMA, which is a little different for what we have done in the past for our landmark 50 episodes. So we've got some stuff lined up. But we did, as mentioned, have a special someone show up to cheer us on for this episode. So we are going to invite Hemanstarfox over to our open mic that Doug just vacated and let him kind of take the reins until someone decides they want to come up and ask us some questions or suggest a SMACdown.
This inferior wheelchair out of here.
It's not as good as yours.
Get you adjusted there.
Look at you in person.
Hemanstarfox, another person we are here in person with. How are we doing today, Hemanstarfox?
I'm great. I just graduated with my bachelor's degree
Heck yeah.
in philosophy on Friday.
Congrats to you.
Yeah, I'm also rocking a new Rocket Racoon t-shirt that I got
Nice.
for graduation.
Nice. The complimentary beret when you get a philosophy degree looks great on you.
It does.
Purple, like your shirt. Also, you match this lovely lady back here. Do you guys realize that? You're totally matching today.
Yeah. I like to match the ladies. I find that they respect that.
They really do. It's not weird at all.
So we're doing some SMACdowns.
We're doing some
We go
SMACdowns,
smacking
man.
down.
We've also got some questions. I'm going to start with a question just because we haven't done AMAs before. So I'm going to start with one that we got from Antonio from the Cultworthy. I think he took this one really seriously because he asked, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
African or European?
That is the correct answer.
I mean, you got to think about the variables. The variables. The crosswinds off of the Alps or Kilimanjaro.
Yep, that's the problem. And how would one even carry a coconut? They would grab it by the husk.
So let's get into a SMACdown here. I'm really tempted to do the one I suggested just last week when we were closing out, Alex, because I don't know if you remember, but I said Rocket Racoon versus Legolas, and since Hemanstarfox is wearing a Rocket Racoon shirt,
Yep, got to do it.
I kind of want to do it now.
And I love
do it.
Tolkien. deeply.
So let's start with that one, I guess, just to kind of lay the groundwork, because the way we work SMACdowns is it's a superhero showdown. It's fictional characters fighting it out. Or do they eventually find out that they're friends? And we have to figure out what is the case here. And as Stan Lee said, it's in our hands because the winner is whoever the writer wants to win, as Stan Lee famously said. So, Hemanstarfox, I'm going to let you take the reins on this one. Who would win between Rocket Racoon and Legolas?
You know, it's a really difficult debate because you have someone with a railgun versus a flamboyant man with a bow and arrow. So it's just like, who's more fantastic? I'm going to go with Legolas, and here's why.
Wow.
Okay.
I think Legolas is going to be a lot more agile than Rocket Racoon, which I know is a bit of a hot take. But you have to think he has elven swiftness.
Very true.
And also, he has fought in many of the great wars of the Second and the Third Age.
Yeah.
Whereas Rocket Racoon does have a lot of agility because that's my main in Marvel Rivals, although your toxic fan base has chased me away. So I'm a little salty about that.
I have to go on a tangent real quick just because I don't play Marvel Rivals, but I know Jeff the Landshark is a playable character in that game, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it, but I have no idea why. So what is the deal with Jeff? I know who Jeff the Landshark is. He's the best Marvel character in modern comics since Kamala Khan.
I thought you were going to say Kamala Harris. I was like,
She has ruined the way I say Kamala Khan.
she's in the Marvel universe.
She is. She's fantastic.
She's in the good universe. But what is Jeff? Is he just like an easy main, or is he someone that is controversial because who is the one Fortnite character that everyone like the solo main, or I forget what it's called.
I don't want to talk out of my depth here because I don't know anything about Fortnite.
We're podcasters. It's what we do.
Yes. That's all I do.
I'm a bit unfamiliar with the source material for Jeff the Landshark. What I'll tell you is that Jeff the Landshark is a strategist, which is like the healer class in the game. If any of you are familiar with Overwatch, it's essentially Overwatch, but with Marvel characters and Marvel power-ups. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, for instance, like Rocket Racoon is also a strategist healer, and like if if Groot is on your team, they do like a really cool power up where Rocket Raccoon can ride Groot. Well, Jeff the Landshark. One of the reasons that he's popular is that I think little kids like to play Jeff the Landshark.
He's adorable.
Because he's adorable. But also, so his like ultimate power up is that he can swim like underneath the ground and then pop up and like swallow as many people as possible, including your own team. So a lot of little kids like to be like that troll player. So I think that's one of the reasons that he's so popular. A lot of popular streamers will have like streams where they just troll as Jeff the Landshark, and then they release like TikTok compilations of just swallowing their own teammates and then spitting them off a cliff.
Okay, well, that dampens Jeff's legacy a little bit for me, but let's get back to Rocket Raccoon versus Legolas.
So, I think that the elven swiftness with just the vast battle knowledge and the wisdom of the elves, because they're immortal, is probably going to edge out Rocket Raccoon, even though he's a super genius and has a railgun.
Okay, let's take this up to a vote. Alex, where are you at with this?
I'm currently debating buying the plushie I just saw on my phone of Jeff the Landshark because I didn't know that was available, but I want it now.
I was watching.
As well, you
I was
should.
watching him look that up.
I
and
saw
was
you
like,
scrolling.
yes.
I'm like, he's looking up Jeff the
Yes, he
Landshark.
is.
I think I do have to give it to Legolas because I'm looking at the source of the books. I'm using the movies as a source. While I think Rocket Raccoon has been, we have seen the ability and depth of his powers, but when you look at the trilogy, the subtleness of like, apparently he's lighter than snow. He can see like 35 miles in the distance, which really does help see past the curvature of the Earth. And by our rules, they are in a warehouse. Stop coughing.
I'm trying so hard. I don't know what happened.
You're not even talking yet.
I know. I'm so annoyed. I leaned back away from the mic.
I think Legolas's ability to, with the speed of his arrows. She just leaned over and coughed in my mic. Along with the fact that he has backup daggers and stuff like that, and the ability to Mario's super jump over falling debris really helps him win. So I'm giving it to Legolas.
Becky, where are you at?
Okay, I'm giving it to Rocket Raccoon based solely on the fact that he's a survivor. And I don't know if Legolas really is. I don't know if he's had to really work as hard to... He's an elf.
That is a hot take.
Their lives are... I mean, he's fought in wars, right? But he kind of always just... Have you read the books? He kind of lived his life. I don't know. He was never really...
Because
doing
he's
as
immortal.
much as,
That's what elves
as Rocket
do.
Raccoon. That's what I'm saying. I think he would win based solely on the fact that thing survives through anything and everything.
I mean, it's true.
He's scrappier.
Trash pandas
I'm giving
are
it to
hard.
I'm giving it to the scrapper. Yep. As you guys were talking, I was like, oh damn, that's a lot better than my answer. But I'm sticking with what I think, which is that well, no, they wouldn't be friends because Rocket Raccoon wouldn't be friends with anybody.
He's barely friends with himself.
I know.
Except for Groot and Baby Groot.
Yes.
Yes.
But not Teenage Groot.
Because teenagers are jerks. Everyone's looking at me now, so apparently it's just my turn.
Josh's turn.
I really just love the visual of how confused Legolas, especially Orlando Bloom Legolas, would look the minute Rocket Raccoon started talking to him. Because there's that whole meme cycle of Legolas from the movies being really dense and dumb.
Yes.
They did make him a little bit of a himbo, didn't they?
He's a little bit of a himbo.
He's too pretty.
Well, one of the interviews I saw after that happened was that because it was one of his first big movies and he was in so many scenes where he had nothing to do, he wasn't given much direction, so he would just do shit in the background and like just stand there looking dumb. He's like, I don't do. I'm an elf. I'm just going to.
What do I do
here.
now?
One of my favorite memes is the dumbest meme in the history of anything because it's just Orlando Bloom Legolas looking out into nothing and going, my friends don't think I understand irony, but it was ironic because we were riding horses at the time.
God damn it.
It's so stupid. I'm gonna go with Legolas just because I think he has a little bit better range, and Rocket's very astute with his weapons, but I think Legolas's accuracy is what does it for him. But I don't think he would kill him. Well, I mean, the idea is we're not going for a kill, we're going for incapacitation.
Yeah.
And I think Legolas would have a little bit more endurance.
You know,
Okay.
I
can agree
support
with
this
that.
non-killing SMACdown.
Oh yeah, that's why
yes,
friends
yes.
is an option.
Yeah, that's why friends is an option. There's no
Yeah.
death happening unless it's a character you don't like.
Yes.
All right, let's stick with the bows and arrows idea because this one was sent in by Monica Jones. She asked who would win in a one bow, one shot.
Oh.
Lara Croft from Tomb Raider reboots versus Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. This is one that I know Alex is really going to go for, so I'm going to start with him.
Oh boy.
The cogs are turning.
Okay. Are we going off of cutscenes or my ability to play the damn game?
Both. Our understanding of the characters as a pop culture.
Oh man, I would have to go with Aloy because the Tomb Raider reboot Lara Croft, while scrappy, does have backup weaponry and like guns and stuff to fall upon.
Well, remember, this is one arrow.
Yeah,
one
I
shot.
know. But that's factoring into my decision because I would say that she hasn't perfected her skills with the bow as much since she has such an arsenal, versus Aloy, who has to rely upon the range, especially when you have those giant damn flying raptors and the mega T-Rexes and all that crap. I think that the precision needed has trained her to be more of a perfectionist with her shot and placement. So I'm going to go with Aloy.
So I'm going to go with the exact opposite of that. I think because Lara Croft pretty much only exclusively has humans to shoot after, she's going to be a little more accurate with her shots, whereas Aloy has giant robot dinos to shoot at.
Bigger targets.
Exactly.
Bigger targets.
Bigger targets means more room for miss. You don't have to be as accurate.
This is about pure accuracy here.
But my argument against that would be Aloy, to take down those creatures, has to shred their armor first, so she has to put proper placement in the weak joints that knocks off the armor to allow precision kills.
That's fair.
Yeah, she's not just spamming them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
'Cause
I'm gonna stick with my
Alex on this one.
original answer. He-Man, what about you?
Just for, integrity, because with SMACdowns, integrity is so critical.
It is.
We are so integritous.
I have never played a Horizon game
Oh,
ever.
no.
I have played one of the Lara Croft reboots. I just don't believe that Lara Croft is actually as powerful as those games portray. And especially if I'm playing Lara Croft, she's not winning this thing.
Yeah, she sucks when I play her.
From like what I've seen
Bad.
of the Horizon games is that this bow is like mechanical and powerful. It probably has some sort of power up for accuracy. So
Yep.
I'm thinking it's just like there's more money and resources, so they're gonna win. I mean, it's like the New York Yankees versus like everybody else.
I like that take. It's good.
I don't know, man. That one guy who showed up with his hat and beer belt in the Olympics still took away a silver medal.
You know what? Actually, I want to change my answer. The answer is Legolas comes in.
He's like,
shows
are
them
you
all."
kidding me right now? I
Like,
just beat up
take
this
that,
raccoon.
feminism.
Becky, you know what? I'm a little surprised you didn't say, you know what? Why are we making women fight? We should be friends.
They should not just be friends because they're women. Sometimes other people suck. Doesn't
Right.
matter what gender
Exactly.
they are.
All right, let's get into some more AMAs here, and then we'll keep
Aloy
coming
won
back.
that one, guys, just so you're counting.
I lost that one. Yes, I'm aware. So Joey Fitz, the guy who has the wonderful thumbnails and creates our thumbnails, he
Wait,
asked.
do we know what his thumbnails look like?
Yeah,
No,
like this,
but
like,
I
he
because I
thinks he has
misspoke, I'm just
nice
carrying over the joke.
Oh.
I misspoke last week when we were doing the outro, so I'm just carrying it over because that's the thing. So Joey asks, when we started, what did we think episode 200 would look like? I'm gonna take this as he wrote it. Did you envisage a live episode? I don't know what envisage is. I think he means envision, but
Quick, Google.
I think Envision is a TV brand.
isn't that Vizio?
Maybe?
He-Man's looking it up.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I know what it is, but I just don't want to speak out of my lane here.
as the person who kind of created the podcast, I will say getting to 200 episodes is something that I did not really foresee, just because 200 episodes of just hanging out with people and talking nerd shop and putting in the extra effort to edit and do other things with it. I don't know that I was planning on sticking with it as long as I did, but I'm glad I did because it's created extra opportunities to hang out with friends and do new things, like come to Cataclysm, and it's given me and Ricky an opportunity to do other things and relate to each other in different ways through that.
Sorry, I'm just jealous.
It's true. I get to spend more time with your wife than you do.
It's rude.
After was about episode 37 or 38 where there was like a 4-year break?
No, it was like episode 23.
Oh, was that?
Yeah, our last episode that we did for a long while was in the early 20s back in 2018.
Yeah.
And then I graduated from college and I had some free time and I went, hey, Ricky, can I start the podcast up again? Because we're in lockdown. I really need to talk nerd shop with someone. And she went, I don't fucking care.
God, she's so supportive. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of figured once like I stopped getting the call that we were going to record on Saturday night that it was over, and then like during lockdown you were all, let's pick this back up again. I'm like, okay. And then you said like the next week like, hey, we're recording it. And I was, what? And then all of a sudden it just kept going, and no, I did not think we'd get to 200. I did not think we would do it live. I did not think that my bank account would lose money by coming to Cataclysm, but it's going to. I can see it.
Well, you should know you're losing money at Cataclysm, and then you step in, you're walking in, and you're like, oh my god.
Because there's a lot of new paints over there. And I saw this backpack I liked. But no, I did not think we would get to 200. And now that we're here doing it live, why doesn't every episode be live?
Because this kind of coordination is very stressful. I was thinking on the way over here, usually I put a little different kind of stress on myself because I'll make like fight cards or something for the SMACdowns and put up polls on social media. And then this time I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I went, but I need some kind of stress, right? So let's do a live show somewhere.
Well, I know it's, for a little behind the scenes stuff, I know it's that Ricky is in a chair manning our board. But because we're on like stools and Ricky is in a chair, I just out of the corner of my eye, I consistently see her batting eyes at Josh.
No, she's batting eyes at Becky.
Oh yeah, please, we're making full on eye contact, a lot of it.
And I was like, wow, she really tolerates him. This is cute.
That is facts.
She's like leaning closer to the mic, Josh. Is
Real
what she's really
quick.
saying.
And making sure he
quick.
doesn't say anything stupid.
Who asked that question?
Hence why she's also sitting next to me, so I get a good...
Who asked that question?
That was Joey Fitzgerald, our friend from the UK.
You
With
owe
incredibly
Joey
nice thumbnails.
an apology.
Oh, we do?
Because envisage means to contemplate or meditate on.
Ooh, he knew what he was talking about.
I've never heard envisage before,
Yeah.
so...
Well, if he's from the UK, they
They have
do speak
fancier
better
language.
English. Yep.
My wife has also texted me to let me know that he is correct.
Ye is correct? He. Oh, okay.
Thou is wrong.
Yes. Verily.
Okay, well,
Man, we went to college and stuff. We know words.
let's keep the Joey train going. He suggested Goku versus Omni Man. Becky, let's start with you on that one.
Did we not do this one?
I think we've done Goku versus a handful of different people, but I don't think we've done Goku versus Omni Man.
I was like, as soon as you said, I feel like I finished the
It might have been
in
from
my
our last
head.
SmackDown.
I was
remember-
like, did we do that already?
I don't know. Let's just.
I mean, not that. It
Joey sent us a
matters.
nice message asking, so let's just appease him.
I want Omni Man to win just mostly because I don't like Goku. I never have.
Wow.
I never will. He's really annoying. Least favorite character, probably. I know that's a hot take. I just don't want him to win. But unfortunately, I think he would win because he always wins.
Hemanstarfox, how about you?
Can you remind me of who Omni Man is again?
He's the
Dad
he's the
from-
dad from Invincible.
No.
Oh.
He's a Superman. He's a Superman type.
Yeah, Superman.
He's gonna get wrecked by Goku.
Yes.
Now, does this count Goku as like Super Saiyan?
I don't even know. Like I would assume that it's his full skill set.
Yeah, full skill set.
I mean, the dad bod from Invincibles is just gonna get shredded. There's like no question. He's like one of the most powerful beings on the planet.
It's true.
Alex, where you at?
I'm gonna go with they'll be friends. Now the reason is I'm gonna go with that is I think before Goku goes Super Saiyan, Omni Man knocks him to the ground and tells him to think.
Yes.
He does the meme
this.
on him. Think about this. We could be friends. I think that might work. I think they'll be friends. And if he does achieve Super Saiyan, I'm sorry, J.K. Simmons. You got to go back to the Marvel Universe and be J. Jonah Jameson again.
We need more pictures of Spider-Man. I'm going to say Goku wins as well. I have no basis on understanding anything about Goku other than I know he, like, at one point became a god.
Yeah, he always wins.
He's over 9,000?
Yeah, he something like that.
He's like the John Cena of the Dragon Ball Z universe.
That's an excellent way to put it, actually. Truly.
He's invisible.
Wait, aren't we mad at John Cena right now?
Yes, we
He's a
are.
bad guy
we're
right
mad.
now.
We're mad at him.
Damn
right
you,
now.
John
I don't
Cena.
want to talk about it. Super upset.
Go back to doing Wipeout on TBS.
But if you watch Invincible, there is a limit to what the Viltrumites can do physically. They reach that limit even faster than like Superman can. As long as they're under that attrition, they'll eventually just kind of give way and be defeated, whereas Goku doesn't seem to have any limits.
Yeah, he has like 0 weaknesses.
So there you go, Joey. Goku defeats Omni Man.
You're welcome.
I think they might be friends if like
If it's later,
Well, like-
Omni Man, maybe.
maybe because like I can see Omni Man just getting destroyed, and then he's like, "No, stop! I have a son." And then he like shows a picture, and then he's like, "Wait, I have a kid too." And then just like shows his wallet size of like
Goku doesn't
Gohan.
care about his son. He's the worst dad on the
Is
planet.
Goku's son the one
The
with the
worst
monkey
dad
tail?
on the planet.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know,
He's a
that's-
terrible dad.
Omni
He's
Man had-
literally the
Over here
worst.
with the hot takes.
Okay, let's go with some more bad dads, I guess. The lovely Dan from Casting Views said triple threat match between Fred Flintstone, Peter Griffin, and Homer Simpson. I'm taking the reins on this and saying they're going to be friends. They're going to drink beer and go bowling, and they will be friends.
I think there would be like a fun and entertaining like semi-fight scene happening, but I do think that they would all end up as friends. I agree.
I think there would be multiple fights,
Yeah.
I would also agree. I think that about halfway through the fight that they would just find a beer truck, and then Mo would be like, "I can now retire."
I think they would be friends, but in the initial fight, I think Peter wins because the only way for that fight to happen would have to be on Family Guy. I mean, the crossover we got had to be on Family Guy because they wouldn't let him on The Simpsons for the humor aspect. And that fight scene between the two of them was great. But yeah, they're going to fight until they're friends. It's going to be great. It's going to be bloody. They're going to do the gag where Fred is going to try to like slow the car by shoving his feet into the ground, and then like his feet come off. It's going to be great.
All right,
Get on that, Seth MacFarlane.
Our next SmackDown suggestion comes from Nick Arigi. I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is going to be our least amount of blood in any kind of SmackDown ever suggested.
Boo.
It's Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park versus Boris Grishenko from GoldenEye. He is the I am invincible.
Yeah.
It's a hacker off, so it's just whoever can code better, break into the other person's computer first, I guess would be the way to
Yeah,
put it.
I was like, you're gonna remind me of the Jurassic Park guy because those movies scare me. I can't watch them.
You're not going to watch the new one with the human dino hybrid that can breathe fire?
What?
I don't know.
First of all, no. Second of all, who's that girl? Is it Kat Denning? Was she in the first when
Scarlett
they redid?
Johansson.
No.
No?
When they redid them,
Bryce Dallas Howard?
she was the assistant.
Kat Dennings was not in the.
No. Oh, I know. She was.
Who was that?
She was Lana.
She was just an
She was
assistant.
Lex Luthor's sister in the Supergirl show, and yeah, she got destroyed for being a person.
Listen, I did not like that. I left the theater. No, thank you, Jurassic Park. Why did they take 15 solid minutes to kill her? It was crazy. I don't like that at all.
Well, apparently there was a whole subplot that she was going to be mean to the kids, and so she was going to deserve the death. But then,
No.
for the sake of time
It's
for this 2-hour and 20-minute movie, they went, no, we got to cut that.
That was rough. So I'm like, who's this guy?
Based on character decisions, it should have been Bryce Dallas Howard that suffered that
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
She did actually deserve it. If it's a hacker off,
Yeah.
I mean, who has more at stake?
Let me see. Dennis Nedry is currently coding the entirety of Jurassic Park
Yeah,
by himself.
very important.
And Alan Cumming is currently making sexual jokes at a Bond girl. So, I mean,
Yeah.
They're both excellent hackers in their own.
While setting up the GoldenEye.
yes, while setting up the GoldenEye.
He's multitasking.
He might just be one of those people that's effortlessly good at it, and like you don't realize it until it comes to crunch time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with him.
I think if he's got the catchphrase, I am invincible,
Yeah,
I think
I mean-
he's pretty self-assured. But Nedry even codes in his own little anti-hacker guy. Yeah, so
Didn't say the magic word.
I'm going to go with Nedry just because Alex raises a great point that he is currently running all digital operations for Jurassic Park, even though in a way poorly,
I
but
was
at the
gonna
same
say,
time,
wait a second.
Yeah.
but he
It's not going well.
he also sabotaged it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Part of the subplot of the book is the system is so glitchy because he's purposely making it glitchy for his plan so that when the system goes down, when he enacts it, that they aren't really that surprised. So I'm going to go with Nedry, even though I love Alan Cumming and he's my hero and I need more episodes of Traitors. Once a year is not enough. I'm sorry. And thank God you're back as Nightcrawler, but you're currently dead because you said I'm invincible and got covered and, in freezing fluid and then exploded. But then again, and Nedry might be alive. There's always the hope that he made it out of that little car, even though his face was being chewed off. But Nedry wins the hacker off.
I guess
So
I'm going
wait,
to be.
did you say least bloody? Because there's a lot of
they're both dead.
blood and gore happening there.
They're just trying to hack into each other's computers. That's all I'm saying. I don't know where Alex is going with all this.
Okay, let's be fair. The reason why I also chose Nedry is because I have rewatched GoldenEye recently, and Boris makes the stupid thing of going, she's just a low-level coder. She works in the guidance system. What can she do? And she makes it crash to the earth because it's the guidance system.
Well, with the help of James Bond. I'm going to say Boris. I mean, he was dealing with a lot of distractions and still did it.
It's true, he did.
What was Dennis doing? He was just like, I'm going to secretly do stuff. Look at how smart I am when no one is really fighting against me.
Yeah, he was kind of fighting with himself.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a good point. But no, I'm sticking with Dennis.
Loyalty.
He's so good, he made a bad system. That's a man you can trust.
Matt from Decaying with the Boys, he wants to know who would win between the Human-Xeno hybrid from Alien Romulus and the Human-Xeno hybrid from Alien Resurrection. More movies that Rebecca hasn't watched because she can't even watch Jurassic Park. So.
Scary. I did. Hey, I've watched the original Alien. I watched it. You're on a podcast like this, so my eyes were closed. I watched it as if it was a podcast, and it was still really scary.
Did you flip your Apple Watch inside out, by the way?
No.
No? It looks like
strap.
It's a whoop.
Okay,
Whoop.
it looks like a Dick Tracy walkie-talkie watch.
That is a Whoop strap that is.
Okay, I thought it was a
it's all
smartwatch
about the
for a
health.
second.
It's all about
Having
her
a Dick
health.
Tracy
Yes.
walkie-talkie watch is like one of the things off of my kid bucket list that I still haven't crossed off.
I would love it if this was a walkie-talkie watch. That'd be fantastic, especially while we're podcasting. When you guys talk
You could
about
talk to Bo.
aliens.
Hey, Bo, I miss you.
Anyway, how's the dog? God, I miss his face so much. Oh, I'm still on? Oh, remember I have a mute button for this kind of situation. Yeah, my extensive knowledge currently of the Alien universe is from Bob's Burgers. Because there's an episode where Tina kind of goes over really quickly the situation of why they're bursting out, the babies, and there's mobs happening. And I was like, I still don't like it, but I liked it in that context.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, He-Man-Starfox has something to say.
Yeah.
He's been waiting.
He's ready.
But you have to choose a victor. Who would win?
Yeah,
What were my choices?
The
Legolas.
the Human-Xeno hybrid from Alien Romulus and the Human-Xeno hybrid from Alien Resurrection.
Romulus, because that's so much more fun to say.
Fair.
Decision made.
I think that is a perfectly valid and logical explanation. I have not seen either of the source material. I'm going to say that I think just based off of what I know of the species and what their collective goals are, is that we would see a team up and then just taking over our planet and eating all of the human race as God intended.
I like it.
That's actually my answer too, because their objective is to conquer and destroy the human race. So they would be friends. They would look at each other and go, "Aww," and then they would like be skipping down the warehouse floor together, talking about being best friends while occasionally killing a human that somehow stumbled into the warehouse. It'd be adorable.
Yeah, it's kind of like how moms that like have lost all their social life become friends with the other moms that their kids are friends with. That's what it's going to be like. And then one of them is like, you know what? What if I bring the wine and then you bring the dessert? And they're like, yes.
How about I bring the wine and I bring the wine?
And it's like, well, I have geriatric blood. I thought that would be, you know, it has a nice bitterness. And then for dessert, I brought human babies.
I love it. I love this friendship situation happening here. This is nice.
I think I missed that subplot of Romulus.
I'm going to have to watch it if this is what's in it. Sounds nice.
It's definitely not.
All I'm going to say is you should check out their carpool. It is intense.
I thought you were going to say a different alien movie, and I was like, no, I will not. I refuse. I was upset at those trailers alone.
All right, let's get back to our last AMA here before we completely derail with this Human-Xeno hybrid carpool situation. We have Slade from Driveway Beers. He's asking, what's your favorite anime?
Oh, I have my answer.
I have mine.
All right, Hemanstarfox, let's start with you. And I think this is intentionally vague because my mind is going like movies, show. What are we talking about?
My favorite anime is the original 2003 series of Full Metal Alchemist. It's very like deep philosophical things. It's really like this dichotomy between the futility of if there is free will mixed with accepting grief, and then also the interplay of the role of the state within the individual. I bought it I bought it on sale on Blu-ray because I couldn't find it streaming, and I just finished a rewatch, and I'm like halfway through the movie that ties everything together, so that way I can do my first watch through of Brotherhood, and I'm excited about it.
Becky, how about you?
Fruits basket.
Fruits basket.
and Ricky's putting her little fish
She's
in the air
gushing.
because she knows. She knows. It is the first. Well, I did watch Sailor Moon, the original, the original.
The Serena.
That was just in the morning, like it was just on TV, so I watched that. I do remember that. I did love it a lot. But Fruits Basket was the very first thing I ever streamed on Netflix. Because I was like, oh, you can watch stuff on demand? This is crazy. How is this? And this suggestion popped up, and I was like, I don't watch anime. I'm not, like, I don't know. I could watch it. And I was like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. I probably watch it once a year, every year. And honestly, both of them are tied. I like the original, and I like the new one that they made, too. I like them both.
We watched the new one, and yeah, it was absolutely adorable. Alex, where are you at? Besides Cataclysm.
My goth ennui teenager must say that it's Neon Genesis Evangelion, including the rebuild, because it is perfection. But my current adult is Solo Leveling. And I just finished rewatching it. I'm gonna have to rewatch it again because every time that I see it passively, either when my wife was watching it or I watched it actively, there's more nuance, there is more depth, and that show is freaking amazing. And how dare they say, "Oh, we're gonna take a little bit of time off, and we're gonna take 2 or 3 years before bringing us season 3." No. Listen.
Kind of like this.
So you're saying I made a mistake starting the show, and I'm on episode 5 right now.
No. Each season has beautiful closure.
Okay.
It is, but it is so good. I just love the animation. I love the story. I love the drips that it gives the character of what is happening behind the scenes, and the comic, manga, webtoon, whatever you call it, is done. They have finished it. They could barrel through and just keep giving us 12 episodes a year, but they want to take time to breathe. No, you bastards, bring me more. I love Solo
Those
Leveling.
darn animators wanting time off.
Yes, how dare you? Listen, you need to remember, back in the day, you did 24 episodes a season until you got arthritis and you got a new one person in. This is how you do it now.
I mean, Tiny Toons and Animaniacs and Batman, the animated series, those did 56 episode seasons. Sailor Moon did 56 episode seasons.
Yeah.
Indian
there's a
Militia had
lot of Sailor
24
Moon.
episode seasons, and they did like 197 episodes of that thing.
I'm going to have to echo Becky. I'm going to say Fruits Basket is probably my all-time favorite anime series. I will caveat favorite anime movie, Your Name.
Well, you guys always talk about that.
You have to see
I
it.
know. I gotta watch.
I'll let you sign into my Apple so you can watch it.
Here's the problem.
How dare you? How dare you
How dare
betray
you
Tim's
password
book
share?
like that?
Oh my God! You can share your passwords. This is crazy. I will. Oh, the only reason I am like
Censor it in
I don't
post.
know-
Censor it in post.
I don't know about that one. Is because somebody who shall not be named
Is it
told
Ricky?
me to watch Grave of the Fireflies. And that was traumatic.
Was it Lewis?
Oh my God.
Yes.
He recommended that.
I think that was the first Ghibli movie I ever watched.
Also, I'm
and I was
pretty
like, when does the fun start?
Never.
Imagine this. So we're all living in a house together, and then there's just me standing in the doorway,
Crying.
upset, so
Yep.
upset, and being like, "Why would you do that?" They were downstairs in the basement, and I was standing just in the stairwell, and I was like, I did not have a good time. I did not like that. And I was in my bed, like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was the next morning, I was like, God, it was so sad.
Listen, that is actually how I believe Neon Genesis Evangelion gets shared around. Is someone finished it, was traumatized, and went looked at a friend and went,
You should watch this.
"This is great. You need to watch this." And once they have been broken, you're like, "Welcome to the club."
It's
Thank
the
you.
Attack on
Okay,
Titan cycle.
yeah.
share
that's
share it with
Attack
your
on Titan
friends.
happened that way with
Share
me
it with
too.
your friends. If you do it, he may one day explain what the hell happened. And then he made Rebuild, and it did not explain more. I still don't know what happened.
I've suggested books in that same vein, so I get it. Oh, this was Soul Destroying. Why don't you read it next?
Oh, Watership Down? Yeah, definitely love it.
Oh, yes.
Classic.
Hey, listen, Watership Down is an excellent book. Don't watch the weird crap they made about it, because they were like, kids in the 80s like fights and blood, right? Let's throw that in there.
I think we
RoboCop,
should
the
give
Omni-Series.
honorable mention to Delicious in Dungeon or
Yes.
Dungeon Meshi. It's like only had like 2 series so far, so time will tell, but it's quite good.
Well, that's one that just came out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is actually quite delightful. Not my favorite, but it is very delightful.
I'll have to bust out my Captain America gif and say I'll add it to the list.
Yeah, please do add it to the list.
Dungeon Meshi?
In English, it's Delicious in Dungeon, and just as like a really brief synopsis, a brother joins and hires like a crew. It's kind of like D&D, and so if they're crawling through a dungeon, and then they realize that they can eat the monsters.
It's so good.
that they slay, so they can continue to crawl through the dungeon, and in the hopes that he can rescue his lost sister. It's very good.
It is the very best of anime cooking scenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, The Devil's a Part-Time Cook is pretty good too.
I've never heard of
That time I was turned into a refrigerator. We'll
That's
just,
a
we'll
good
just name
point.
anime at this point.
that. I sure did you refrigerator.
I don't know what the actual name of it is, but there's an anime where, oh no, it's a vending machine.
Yeah, it's something like, so I was reincarnated as a vending machine. Or
Yeah,
something like that,
and it's a whole anime about a guy who literally is just a sentient vending machine.
And I feel like there's some sort of weird sexual innuendos with dollar bills. I'm not interested in there.
Okay, well, speaking of weird innuendos,
Ooh, my favorite.
I'm assuming his last name is pronounced Cornelis. Stuart Cornelis. I think he had a weird dream because he wants the Rookie versus Malcolm Reynolds versus Rick Castle versus Guy Gardner, all played by Nathan Fillion. How does this SmackDown turn out? I'm going to take the reins on this one, and I'm going to say Mal Reynolds knocks them all out. I don't know that he would be friends with all of them, especially Guy Gardner. None of them would be friends with Guy Gardner.
Which one's Guy Gardner?
He's the jerk Green Lantern. He's going to be the one. He's the guy with the bowl cut in the Superman trailers.
Okay, I was
We're
thinking
pretty
so
sure he's a
hard,
bad
like,
guy in that, right?
He's not a bad guy. No, he's just a jerk.
He's just, no one likes him.
Yeah, but the newest, every trailer makes it come off of more and more like he might be the bad guy.
He's
in my opinion.
he's just a smug jerk.
Okay, so he's just Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure
Nathan
he's probably
Fillion is
he's
a
what-
saint.
I'm sure he's a saint in real life, but he really does do a good job playing a smug jerk. Okay.
I think Mal just knocks them all out. He won't He won't take time to have a conversation.
Yeah,
but
there's no friendship happening. In my head, I was like, well, they would all be friends. Oh, no, they wouldn't. Yeah, no.
I think Castle and the Rookie would be friends.
They would.
Castle
They
does
would
love himself a
definitely
cop.
be friends. Yes.
I mean, there's no crossover between character actors, yeah. I really want to make a joke that based off of like longevity, the Rookie would win, but let's be honest, Mal's going to win because he's bitter about Firefly. And Mal just knocks them all out, and then probably tries to turn him in for a bounty.
Yeah. Yes.
I am going to abstain because I have no idea about the source material. I am still learning about Green Lantern. It's very confusing.
As it should be.
Yeah. So I'm just going to abstain, and I'm going to agree with whatever Becky says.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
Yes.
As well, you should.
That never happens.
Yes. See,
They're always like, "You're stupid." Next topic. I'm all right.
Beyonce had Becky with the good hair, but
Yes.
we have Becky with the hot takes.
Becky with the hot takes and the good hair.
I believe her contract actually stipulates that a guest must agree with her occasionally.
Just every once in a while.
It is
but
long
totally
and
natural.
flowing like the lifeline of
Yes.
Legolas.
Yes.
All right, let's bring back someone for a second match here. We're going to bring back the Xenomorph versus the Death Angel, a.k.a. the Aliens from a Quiet Place.
Ooh.
This one was suggested by, let me scroll over to the side here, Chuck Dudding. Thank you for the submission, and I think this is actually a really good one. This is one where you have the stealthy Xenomorph versus the alien that relies on hearing that is also armor-plated. So that's one where you almost want, like, maybe replace it with the Predator versus the Death Angel. I think that would be a really interesting one because you want to see how the Predator would watch and study the Death Angel compared to like the Xenomorph, who almost seems like it would be more apt to just dive and attack and maybe run away if they had an opportunity.
I was actually going to be that guy when we were talking about Alien and be like, Predator comes in and destroys them all. But I didn't want to be that guy.
I recently found out the name of the Predator alien, and I forget what it is now. It wasn't like Uautin or something like that.
It was something along those lines. I think they used it. Remember the original Xbox Predator game that was kind of good? It was like Predator Concrete Jungle or something.
Yeah.
I think they used that name in that game.
I think the name came from like an Alien versus Predator comic. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I know it's always been in the back of my head that like this thing actually has a name, but we just keep calling it the Predator monster, the Predator alien.
I think they introduced the name when they did the sheep Predator line, because then you had the person who was able, you had the human that was able to talk with them and that stuff. But
I think the
They're all
interesting thing
drawing
about
blanks.
this debate is that both of the SmackDown participants have been foiled by like 12-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not dealing with the most sharpest of predatory beings here.
And yet they continue to call the Xenomorph the perfect hunter, the perfect perfect organism.
yes,
Yeah.
but let's be fair. Newt was like 7.
They mostly come at night, mostly.
God bless Newt.
Do either of them work in teams? Are they solo aliens?
I mean, Newt is more support for Ripley.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the alien.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Talking about the aliens.
Depends
I'm getting
on the
back
movies.
to the actual SmackDown.
The Quiet Place ones kind of work together, right?
Also, perhaps that.
If you didn't hear Ricky, she thought she was talking about Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, they all confer. They're like, I thought that was on the Slack channel.
That Death Angel sent that meme too many times. I don't care about the
I hate
minions.
using Google Docs. There's too many permissions.
Who messed with my Excel sheet?
And then whoever gets the angriest wins, I guess.
Well, let's just be real. Let's chat GPT how to foil 12-year-olds.
I'm tired of doing all this work. ChatGPT it
We're
is.
supposed to be perfect. And I was supposed to do this.
That's why the Xenomorph is the perfect organism and knows how to use a slideshow appropriately.
By perfect organism, you mean perfect organizer.
To be fair, my brain did go there as well because I use Teams a lot for work.
I hate teams.
Never had to sign on for it, never will.
You shouldn't have to.
Well, I mean,
I hope not.
teams Skype died for us to give us Teams.
I bring back AOL Instant Messenger.
I had so many long distance relationships thanks to Skype.
Hey, I'm a back in the day MSN Messenger boy. ICQ.
Did Yahoo have a messenger as well?
Yes, Yahoo had a messenger.
Did Yahoo had one where you could draw at the same time as the person you were chatting to?
Yep.
Oh,
That sounds dangerous.
We were obsessed, the girls and I that did that, like just drawing all over it. Now there is something happening currently at some sort of app where you can do the same thing. And I was like, oh, I did that like 1,000 years ago.
All I know is that a
now
bunch
you do
of
it
teenage boys
strangers.
were just drawing balls.
Well, I mean, yeah.
How else are you going to learn to draw?
I had parents who loved me, so we had
Jeez,
parental
Josh,
controls.
you're a prude.
I'm just thinking of Arrested Development with Henry Winkler. Like, those are balls.
Those are balls.
Josh,
Those balls. The way he says that.
I'm just going to message you real quick. ASL.
All right, so
American Sign
Death Angel
Language?
versus Xenomorph. Have we actually come to a consensus on this?
I just asked if either of them were teams.
Oh yeah, if they're on
you guys
Teams.
have to tell
I don't
me.
know if they have a Microsoft account.
Okay. That I feel like whoever the least or no.
No, the Death Angel uses Slack. Xenomorph
I feel like
uses
whenever
Teams.
there's Death Angels, there's always like a bunch of them. But I don't know enough about Alien to know, are there a bunch of them or is there
Yes,
just
Yes.
one?
There's a bunch of them.
They work
There's a bu-
together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
James
correct.
Cameron
There's one
confirmed
good
they
one
work
where there's
together.
one.
They
There's
work-
one good
thank
one
you,
where there's
James Cameron.
multiple, and then there's some
rest.
bad ones where there's multiple and individual ones.
Jesus Christ.
There's two good ones for aliens.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with Death Angels just because I really like that spinning thing they do. When they cut, they're like, yeah, I like the way they move.
Sure. I
That's
think you're
based
thinking of
clearly
the
on that.
droid decowers from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yes, sure, because I definitely know what that is. I don't like Star Wars.
Anakin Skywalker.
It's overrated.
And there's a pod race.
I'm going to go with the Xenomorph because it took 2 movies for an underage person to destroy the Xenomorph. It only took 1 on the Death Angel. That's what I'm going to go with.
And were they destroyed or just thwarted? That's a big difference.
Oh, they figured out
Emily
the weak
Blunt
point.
shot in the head and the face.
Yeah, that's, okay, we got that.
I think the Death Angel could win because they're really fast, and the Xeno eventually has to make noise to make its attack. So with their armor plating, I don't know that the Xenomorph, without exposing its blood and getting acid blood all over it, can actually win.
That's a good point.
And this is one that has kind of be a fight to the death because I don't think
yeah.
either of them would be like, okay, you're down, stay down.
And there's zero friendship.
I mean, they could be friends if they both move to Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, middle ground Discord, yeah. What's the new one, Mammoth?
I think I want to go with the Xenomorphs because, like, I mean, they weren't really ever defeated by the humans, right? Like, they were more just kind of like,
Eventually outsmarted.
yeah, but they were never actually defeated.
In a physical basis, no.
Yeah, so, like, you know, Xenomorphs are undefeated.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can agree with that.
Okay.
I like that.
All
It's
right.
a good take.
I don't even remember what the count was.
I think 3-1.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it was Becky's the worst and everybody else is smarter than her. Something like that.
Legolas.
Per your contract.
Who would win in a fight, my hair or Legolas's hair?
Legolas.
Josh.
He's,
Currently.
my hair's too frizzy.
Mine might be a little longer than Josh.
I think that's true.
Somehow Josh and I have the same hair texture, though. You see that? We do. It's very similar.
Josh Taylor sent one for Stuart Little versus Remy.
That's
And
amazing.
that's an obvious they'll be
They
friends.
would be friends
they would be
immediately.
so fast.
Yeah, so
And
quickly.
Stuart Little
What
would
you
just,
guys don't know is
Remy's dark.
Stuart Little has many hit and runs
Yes.
on his record.
Oh man,
Yep.
the Stuart Little versus the mouse with the motorcycle.
Yes.
Yeah, just like there is untold bloodshed in the history of Stuart Little.
That's why they hired Michael J. Fox for
Well-
the voice, because they had to tone down the bloodshed.
Yeah, they're like, listen, we got to make this more family friendly.
People are going to be more
immediately.
open to this.
See, what people don't know is that actually the Stuart Little universe and House MD are within the same universe. And Hugh Laurie had to go into hiding and become a medical doctor because of the untold horrors they saw because of Stuart Little and that little car.
Yeah, why do you think he's addicted to drugs?
That is why he knows so much obscure knowledge, because of the fact that a mouse was born from a person. And he's like, we have to go deep into the archives now. That's why I know that if, you walked in with a stubbed toe, you actually have this biological disease from this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I do like how my parents expect me to watch that movie with 0 questions asked. And I was like, question right off the bat, how's that work?
They held hands
Very
with the mouse.
confused. Very confused.
We're going to show you the B movie and then just switch the B for a mouse.
Do you like jazz?
Listen, he had a cute car. What can you
The
expect?
husband was the most insane character of the whole B movie. Everything he did was an exact appropriate reaction to what was happening in his life.
And yet he
I
was in the
forget
wrong.
that movie
He was
exists
supposed
so
to be
much.
like the villain, but he's like, the whole time he's like, it's a bee, this is crazy. And his wife's like, oh, I love this bee. Can't wait to do bee things with it. So weird, so bizarre.
I forget that movie even exists. When
The
you guys
internet
say
has not.
the mention of the B movie, I'm like, what B movie are we talking about? The B movie.
The bee movie.
Yeah, that one.
I
Okay.
actually worked in our local movie theater when that was being released.
I'm so sorry.
And you immediately knew
How many parent
when
complaints?
a person was walking in if they were coming to see the B movie, because it just brought this certain crowd. There was a certain amount of tiz riz with that movie, and I loved it.
Listen, you can admit it. It brought the furry crowd. They were dressed up and walking into the movie theater. to see
No,
that.
I think this was before I really knew that furries existed, and I long for those days. I'm really sorry. I'm sure there's probably some listeners that are into that, and I don't mean any shame. It's just I'm trying to understand, and every time I try to have a conversation with someone legitimately, it immediately goes awry, and I just come out more confused. It's like health class, when you're in 5th grade.
All right, we've got a couple more SmackDowns here. From Bill Decker, we have the Purrgil from Star Wars, which is the big space whales. And then we have the big space whales from the Marvel Universe, the Chitauri Leviathans. The big swinging whale thing that was crashing into buildings in Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Purrgil destroyed the Leviathans, mostly because I'm pretty sure they're 18 times their size.
Yeah.
Are they
and the Purrgils are-
absolutely massive?
And yeah, they're like orcas. They're pretty big buttholes, too.
I respect orcas so much. I just want, if any orca is listening to this, I desperately need you to know that I respect you.
I watch Free Willy all the time.
R.I.P. Keiko.
No, a great movie you should watch, I think you would really enjoy, is Orca.
Then not Free Willy, but Orca.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's great. It's called
Is
Orca.
that
Let me
like
talk to you
Tusk?
this way. I forgot. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, just watch.
Is that like Tusk but with whale or an orca whale?
It's a revenge story about an orca.
Okay, because Tusk was terrible.
It's horrifying.
That was a horrifying movie.
My mom let me
What
watch
is
Orca
Justin
because
Long doing?
she didn't know that. It was appropriate age, loved Free Willy, and then she saw just on the shelf at Blockbuster
Orca.
and just put it on and left the room. It is about a person who kills an orca that turned out to be pregnant, and then the husband comes back and hunts down and kills this guy.
I'm actually slightly interested.
As they should.
It is dark, it is scary, and it makes me sad.
You know
like
why? 'Cause
Jaws the Revenge,
an
but with
orca
an
would
orca
be
whale?
fully
Bloody.
capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They don't even they don't just eat the whole animal. They pick out specific organs and then they leave the rest.
Yeah,
it's insane. They
yeah.
would totally do a revenge killing.
It is basically an R-rated Jaws.
Jaws is already R-rated.
No, Jaws is PG.
Is it PG? I thought it was R.
What?
Jaws, the first Jaws movie is
The
PG.
original, yeah.
Yeah.
He is correct.
Yeah,
I thought it was R.
No,
Hey.
it's a 1970s movie.
The 70s were a wild time.
I mean, I guess
full of trauma.
you get to drop an F-bomb in a PG movie with Spaceballs, so
yeah.
wild times. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I didn't know. Spaceballs
Oh
was
yeah,
PG.
the Chitauri thingy destroys it.
Do you think the
as soon as
Chitauri
you-
defeats the Purrgil?
Wait. Sorry, which one? Which one?
Purrgil-
The Purrgil is the
Purrgils
giant
are
space
huge.
whale
They're
from
huge.
Ahsoka and Star Wars Rebels are the two main ones.
There we go. Yes,
I
that
knew
one.
that reference,
Sorry.
by the way.
That one.
I knew
yes,
it.
I flipped it. Yes, that one. They're evil or mean.
Okay.
I have to agree. You want to be fun to be size doesn't matter and everything, but when you're 18 stories tall compared to the other one, it's come on.
Yeah, the Purrgil are massive. Like you have the Leviathans who are like the size of a building in New York, but then you have the Purrgil that are the size of like the island of Manhattan.
Yeah. So
They'd win any day.
I mean, I understand why the SmackDown was brought, because it's like whales versus whales.
Yes, that is exactly what they put.
We love whales.
Space whales versus space
wait.
whales.
I guess there is an option that they both become friends because they're like,
I think the Chitauri are too big of jerks.
Yeah.
probably.
Different kind of jerks from the Purrgil.
Yeah, like they're kind of like a Jerry Seinfeld jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you just wish they would stop talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what if it was that, but then we bring in the multi-dimensional whales from that one episode of Futurama?
Well, the Purrgil are also multidimensional.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Never mind, you're right, they are. They are, because that guy was a big jerk.
Yeah, that's true. I still think the Purrgil win.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Especially since there's multiple Purrgil and there's only one of those Futurama space
There
whales
is only, well, that we know of.
that we know of.
They said it's
I'm glad that you brought it back to Futurama.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think everything should come back to Futurama.
And so,
Or
Futurama
Bob's
or
Burgers.
Scrubs or Bob's
yeah.
Burgers.
I don't know. Scrubs.
Don't you be careful.
No. I love Scrubs.
I'm glad there wasn't a but. You went it.
No. It's like a show that I've watched at really sad times of my
Oh
life.
no! Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I get
happens.
that.
Yeah.
So like, one of my first memories watching movies as a kid was watching like A Land Before Time. So like, I love The Land Before Time, but I never want to watch it again because it's like it's traumatic.
Too sad.
They're doing some kind of 3D animated or stop motion toy remake that someone's doing it, which I'm really interested in. It looks interesting.
The Land Before Time.
It's like
Yeah, I sent you the Instagram.
it's like
for
some 55-year-old man in his
Yeah,
No, I
basement.
know it's not me.
it. I didn't know you liked The Land Before Time.
I like everything you
This
like.
is a weird. Thank you.
Land Before-
That explains the Ricky
Who
problem.
doesn't like the Land
Who would
Before
wear
Time?
to fight?
I
Littlefoot
didn't
and-
think you liked the Land Before Time. What a sentence. Oh, that movie? No thanks.
Isn't there like
not
12
a
of them
fan?
now?
I think there's like 15.
There's a bajillion.
Who's the one that did? Who's the YouTuber that did the? Is it Lindsay Ellis? Is the one who did the Star Wars Hotel 4-hour YouTube video?
No, that was no, it wasn't Shoe on Head. It
Oh
wasn't
no,
Lindsay Ellis.
it starts with a J.
Yes, it's her. She did 4 hours. Dang it! Now,
This part will get edited out, but she did a really fun breakdown of. She like ranked her favorite Land Before Time movies, and she did the original Land Before Time was like number 4 or 5 on her list. Yeah,
That's a hot take.
it is.
Jenny Nicholson.
Jenny Nicholson, thank you. Yeah, I would recommend watching that video just because it's really interesting that someone took the time to watch all 15 Land Before Time movies and then rank them in their
I would
preference.
100% do that with the Barbie movies because they're wildly underrated.
I would do the same thing with the Tinkerbell movies. I recently just rewatched
Also,
the Tinkerbell
wildly
movies.
yeah, I think the Barbie movies were better.
You-
The Tinkerbell movies are good, but
Okay.
those Barbie movies are excellent.
Okay, not to make it weird, I will do that. If you guys do that, I will do that for the Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen movie.
Yes.
Oh, you made it weird.
No, because my sisters.
Alex was one of the people with the countdown, wasn't
I've
he?
told you guys before. My sisters are 10 years younger than me, and they were massively into the Mary Kate movies, Mary Kate and Ashley movies, and I had to watch them all with them, and then I had to take them to the damn theater to watch the movie Made in Manhattan or whatever it was, the Manhattan Twin movie that signified they were adults now and they were going to do like actual full feature-length movies, and then they retired to make clothing.
Yep.
So
Well, one of them.
I remember so many of those movies because I had to watch them on repeat over and over.
Oh, that must have been so rough for you.
Yes, as a teenage boy.
have you watched
monster.
those movies? They suck. At least Barbie's hilarious.
Well, I only watched Sparing Few because sometimes they would show them on like, when you're in elementary school, and then like the TV cart's there, and it's like, hey, we're gonna watch a Mary Kate and Ashley movie, and I'm not gonna say I liked it. I'm not gonna say that it was torture to watch it.
Did you ever watch Barbie Life in the Dreamhouse, Becky?
Ooh.
That was like a Netflix exclusive one
No,
that I think they
okay.
imported from Canada, but that one was hilarious.
Was that one
surprisingly,
good?
they have like
Oh.
Indiana Jones references, and they do all sorts of weird meta stuff
My
because they're
favorite
all
one, like,
they're,
is
they're the
Swan
doll
Lake
versions.
to
They're not
this
Barbies.
Because, like, oh my god! But I had watched so many because of Emily, and like at the time, I mean, just like I'd be on the couch crying, laughing, like just like, what are we watching? Like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, the Life in the Dreamhouse, though, surprisingly, my kids just started watching it one day, and I was just like, oh, God, Barbie.
Fine,
and then I was
I'll
like,
watch
was that an
it.
Indiana Jones reference? Was that a Jurassic
They
Park
do
reference?
that through
Was-
the entire
There's
series.
so much good
so
stuff.
good.
All right, let's get back to the SMACdowns. We've
Stop
given
the
everyone
editing
homework.
here.
Mary Kate versus Ashley.
Mary Kate and Ashley versus Elizabeth.
Wait, who's Elizabeth?
That's their sister,
Their
who's the
sister.
Scarlet Witch in the
No
Marvel
one
movies.
cares about Elizabeth.
She's a Scarlet Witch.
I would argue everybody cares about her more.
Well, I mean,
She's excellent.
I
She
mean,
is.
as Scarlet Witch, yes, but as Elizabeth, no one cares about Elizabeth.
Hey, she's in. Wait,
He-Man and
she's in
Starbucks with the hot
she's in
takes.
that Jeremy Renner, the movie with Jeremy Renner as well.
He's in a bunch
it's
of movies.
Star Wars, it's a Marvel movie.
No, the other one. No, the other movie that they're both in. That movie's good.
Civil War,
Avengers 3?
No.
Age of Ultron,
No,
Avengers Endgame,
No.
Avengers Infinity War.
whatever.
I know which movie you're talking about.
I can't think what the name. I can't remember what the name is.
Is it The Bourne Legacy? No.
No, that wasn't her.
Okay. Anyway, main event time.
Yes.
Okay.
We're ready.
It's not a SmackDowns if we don't get a Batman suggestion.
Okay.
This one comes from Dustin Caldwell. He suggested Batman from Batman Begins specifically versus V from V for Vendetta, the movie version specifically, because both movies came out in 2005.
Ooh.
The year of our Lord 2005.
20 years ago.
20 years. Don't say those sort of things.
I was
Don't say that.
I was
Aging is
There.
inevitable. Deal with it.
I was there at the time of the fall of man.
I mean, the Revenge of the Sith was 2005 as well.
When Hot Topic was relevant. When
Was
we
Hot Topic
still had
really ever
dreams
relevant?
of a retirement.
Facts.
Also,
Sad
yes.
facts.
When Josh started at GameStop.
The last time Josh had long hair.
When did you start at GameStop?
When I started GameStop, 2009?
Was it 2000? Oh, because you did have short hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
2005 is when I had my long hair. That's
Yeah.
also when I cut it.
You walked away and I said, I hate Josh, but he's the person I've known the longest forever in my life, so I have to be nice to him. Like, yes.
He's also taking care of my wife, but whatever.
Yes. Doing an excellent job. I say Batman.
I think V from V for Vendetta. I think he's a little more brutal.
But yeah,
He is more willing to kill.
that is true.
And, he hates fascism, and that earns
Although
points with me.
that's I
And
mean,
Batman is a fascist.
as told by the Blue Beetle's uncle.
Yes.
I think Batman flirts with fascism, which worries me.
I think there's something there where it's more. If they could get to a point where they start talking about their ideals, that's where they could become friends, because Bruce Wayne is maybe just a little off target from V.
Because Batman is known for being able to reason with.
Oh, yes. And he loves friendship. It's his favorite
Hey,
thing.
there's an entire episode of Justice League Unlimited where he just sits down on a swing with
We're
a
talking
dying
about Batman Begins, Christian Bale.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
He
Come on
does throw a
now.
burning iron into some coals to blow up an entire ninja asylum or ninja training ground. 2005 Batman Begins, Batman versus V for Vendetta. Yeah, I'll stick with my original answer, V from V for
He likes
Vendetta.
V. I said he likes V. I'd still stick with Batman.
I'm going with V because 2005 Batman Begins. He only survives because not Viggo Mortensen. Liam Neeson decides to walk away from him instead of just staring at him while his house is burning down.
Right.
He is defeated. V from Vendetta defeats himself through the destruction of Parliament. So I think he'd be willing to go the ultimate mile and destroy, Wayne Manor very, very easily. Or, he wouldn't get off the train at the end of Batman Begins. He would ride that thing into the dirt and take Batman with him. So I think V. And by the way, V is an ideal that it spreads. So is there really any defeating V? There's not. Versus Batman, who stops people who want to be like him because you're wearing hockey pads. So V
But then he
cannot-
gives an untrained cop all of his gear.
Yeah.
right, because his name is Christopher Robin. But no, V
The
cannot
Winnie
be
the Pooh
stopped.
guy?
Yes. Remember,
Silly old
after Winnie the Pooh dies, Christopher Robin's life gets real
Real dark, real fast.
That's the next slasher series.
100 Acre
yeah,
Woods
I
becomes his
mean-
hunting ground.
I'm gonna have to go with V for
write that down.
for all of the concessions that I've agreed with thus far, and then also, like I said, V does not hesitate.
No.
He never
It's true.
hesitated. He never hesitated Batman always hesitates, is always kind of concerned with his own legacy. He's always kind of concerned with, like, making sure that the Wayne name, V only cares about just destroying fascism. That's all he cares about. And maybe one woman. And can you blame him?
Yes, I see. That means that V wins, and I was going to follow up with that. Because Batman takes in orphans and treats them well. V will just kidnap you, shave your head, and mind wash you until you do what he says.
Yeah, right. Because, like, listen, you first got to kill the fascist within.
With that, I think it's time to get going.
Wait, you don't want to talk more about fascism and how it sucks?
We need to ask this crowd of dozens and dozens of people, does anyone want to come up and ask a question to make us uncomfortable? My wife is shaking her head.
She doesn't want to make you
Hemanstarfox, why don't your legs work?
Oh my God damn.
I would like to know the answer to that.
Well, Becky, you see, there's this thing called a cerebrum, and my mom may or may not have drank during pregnancy.
What?
And I was born 3 months premature because the prophecy must be fulfilled.
The prophecy.
As the legends foretold.
So we don't yet know whether you're on the villain side or on the hero side. We're still kind of in between, or
I would say it depends on how much you like fascism.
I love it.
Okay, well, then we're enemies.
Who doesn't? I haven't had anyone shave my head and brainwash me, though, so get back to me.
All right, He-Man, I have one more SmackDown that did come through here from Matt from Decaying with the Boys. He wants to know,
Matt.
heel John Cena versus Ruthless Aggression era John Cena.
Wait, so like current heel John Cena.
Current heel John Cena versus Ruthless Aggression era John Cena, which I don't know anything about that era of WWE or John Cena, so I'm going to abstain from that one. That's the one where he just always wins.
No, that was super babyface John Cena. Ruthless Aggression was when like he had to be ruthless to get to the top. Now he's like, I'm on the top and I'm never gonna give it up because no one's as good as me.
And he has a deadly low blow.
Yeah. Well, you gotta factor in is that there was a lot more blood allowed in WWE. He also took some very vicious chair shots to the head.
Oof.
During that time period, and now that's not allowed. So I think you have to factor that in. You also have to factor in that the hairline was much more strong. You know, because now he's probably on like minoxidil, which is lowering his testosterone. You know, which means that he probably has to up his testosterone synthetically now. But, you know, there could be, like, the rage. That unbridled rage and the fact that he's lost his ideals might be able to push him to the edge to even kill himself. I'm going to go with the current heel, John Cena.
That is a surprise to me.
Although John Cena is a bit of a narcissist, so maybe he just like loves himself.
And now they would team up and be a heel team.
Yeah.
They would do the you can't see me hand thing, and
it would be like the Spider-Man pointing meme. They're just both like, where am I?
I think I'm going to agree with you because.
Wait, on which part? Heel John Cena wins, or they would be friends just waving their hands in front of their face?
Heel John Cena wins because he's so mad at the person he's become that he was looking at himself, his younger self,
right,
and is so angry. He's like, "You're gonna do a bunch of shitty movies. You're gonna do basic cable TV shows.
Yeah, you're gonna be on.
Do you know what
Nick Kids Award?
You're gonna let The Rock tell you what to do. I have to kill you to save myself."
Right. Maybe he experiences ego death, and then he like takes on his Nietzschean Uberman within to be like, to first become what I must become, I must kill who I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the death of self.
Right.
I hope Matt really likes this answer because I think it's way deeper than he anticipated.
Listen, wrestling is important. In the world of not important things, wrestling is incredibly important.
Yes.
I was going to say the opposite of you guys, but...
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I don't think he could heel John Cena take chairs to the head anymore?
Well, he
I'm
does have
coming
less
at it-
hair to.
Well, I was thinking of it as from a purely physical standpoint. No contest.
That's ableist.
Too true. He's old. He's decrepit. You understand.
He's balding.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, walking is harder for him. He's like, you understand.
I didn't think this live show
You
would
have a
send Rebecca
parking
straight to
placard.
hell. I see the portal opening up
I was
as we
already
speak.
there. I live there. It's my favorite place. But I'm just, I'm like, I
St.
don't-
Louis?
He might, yeah. It's like
what the
Space
arch
Racer.
is.
It does feel like hell. Yeah, it's a gateway to
a hell
hell.
mouth.
What's that? It says, oh, it's a handle so God can reach down and then fling Missouri into the sun. Goodbye, all of Missouri.
I almost got arrested in Missouri for trespassing because I was walking between a KFC on my crutches for verification. I actually do have cerebral palsy.
Alex did the most intense head tilt.
I was like, wait, did he just lie to us about his backstory?
Like, secretly, I am the villain, and then I just start walking out of my wheelchair, be like, "Peace out, Cataclysm."
It just reminded me of that John Mulaney joke where he's like walking down 18th Street in Harlem is like, you see a wheelchair topped over and you walk off the bus and you're like, well, I hope a miracle happened.
It's like, surprise, I was that man in the wheelchair. And then that was my like villain origin story, and I'm secretly out to just take down John Mulaney. Be like, listen, I'm tired of you talking about your intervention. No one cares about your coke habit anymore. It's boring.
First your marriage and now your career. I'll take you down.
Right. And,
How dare he rebound with Olivia Munn?
right. So my plan is to just secretly date all of his exes.
How is that going?
So that's why you got arrested for
Still a work in
trespassing?
project.
Exactly. Thanks, misery.
All right, this is getting off the rails really quickly, really hard. Alex, wipe away those tears and please let everyone know where they can join in on this insanity.
They can join this
Online.
insanity by... Damn it, Josh.
Online.
I was about to say come to Cataclysm Games Saturdays at 2. But yes, click the link below, tsmackpod@gmail.com. You can join our Discord, where we are actually have moderators. Thank God. Matt's our moderator.
Star of the podcast, Matt, who couldn't be here.
Yeah, who refused to be here.
What?
Yep.
He'd rather be visiting his alma mater.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. He thinks there's people better than us, which is really sad.
Seems really rude, but
But yeah, click the link below. Join us. We talk about all kinds of things, and we eventually will have a website, and on that website we'll direct you to our Discord, which is tsmackpod@gmail.com. Click the link below.
As Alex mentioned, please join our Discord. The link is in the episode description. If you are watching on YouTube, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. It doesn't take much effort. Hemanstarfox has done it. Why can't you?
Right. And my legs don't work.
We are at Talking SMAC Pod on all our social media
We're
platforms.
at Cataclysm.
Their accessible bathroom is superb.
we're all sitting in various wheeled chairs.
We're on Blue
Wait.
Sky Instagram.
Can we start a
No, we can't restart the
podcast network, and then I'll have a podcast where I rate accessible bathrooms?
Yes.
I will produce that.
Alex is in charge of editing that one. We're on Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, Hive Social, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. I was trying to keep this on the rails as best I could, and Becky's trying to steal my script. Becky, where can people email us since you're reading my script?
I was actually trying to figure out where you were. Email us at tsmackpodcast@gmail.com.
No, it's just tsmackpod@gmail.com.
I can't read.
We've learned Becky is illiterate. Podcatcher, that's what you use to...
Oh, yeah, I got it. That's what
you used to listen to your podcast.
RSS feed.
Thank you to Leo Allen for our regular themes. Thank you to Nick Panic 620 for our special 200th episode theme that is being played right now that we can't hear, but Ricky can. And you, the listener. Thank you to Beppo for our original avatars, Retro Ale Studios for our Ricky avatar. Please like, subscribe, rate, review on your podcatcher of choice. Thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you to our partners who are all here supporting us. And thank you to Cataclysm Games in Machesney Park for providing us this opportunity to record live. Most importantly, though, thank you to Hemanstarfox for being here, supporting us, and then us just dragging him on for the episode.
Literally.
Kicking and screaming without the kicking.
Alex, as always, thank you for being here. Becky, thank you for making the drive from Misery to be up here. Let them know you found Hemanstarfox,
Yes.
and maybe there's a reward. But most importantly, again, thank you, dear listeners, for listening. And Alex, what should people be watching?
If I want the thing to
should
win,
watch Star Trek.
he'll win. These are fictitious
Or you're an ableist.
characters. The writer can do whatever he wants with them. So stop asking those bonehead questions, because I've had it with that.